All right, guys, today we're going to tackle something on this channel that, quite frankly, I was kind of hoping you guys would never see me do. Ironically, I kind of get this question a little more often than you would think, and that is, do you guys get any snow around here? I think it has to do with all the hills and the driveways, and people want to know how much slipping and sliding we do. And as a kid, we used to get 2 or 3 pretty good snows a year. I'm going to call it pretty good snow, 4 inches plus. But ironically, we have got the largest snow we've got in the last 10 years. They're predicting 6 to 9 inches. I haven't checked outside to see quite what we got yet. But unfortunately, that means we're going to have to do a little bit of snow removal. So let me tell you a little bit about a history about Dirt Perfect and snow removal, because this may be the first time since I was 14 years old I'm slightly looking forward to some snow removal. So whenever I was a kid, this is kind of was my first taste of business. I had the old 655 John Deere, had a 34-inch grader blade on the back and a brand new plastic snow shovel. And every time it snowed enough we were out of school, which was usually 4 to 6 times a year, I had some snow contracts. I'd go around and clear off the bank and the post office and the insurance office and a handful of driveways. And every snow event I could usually clear $500 to $700. So, hey man, we're out of school, I'm playing on equipment, I'm making money, let us know. I was excited about it. But that was on an open cab, 16 horse compact tractor basically, and had the time of my life. But this will be the first time ever, I'm almost 40 years old, this will be the first time ever I'm actually going to clear snow in something with heat. So I'm hoping the old Kubota don't let me down. If you guys watched the video yesterday, you know me and the Kubota kind of have a rocky relationship, but as long as that heat stays working today, we're gonna get along pretty good. But one thing I wanna cover real quick before we go plowing through the, I don't know, I'll open the door here in a minute. I think we're gonna be a little disappointed on snowfall totals, but anyways, what is the difference? For some reason, nobody ever covers this. If they have, I haven't seen it, but what is the difference between an actual snow plow and a grader blade or something that has the intentions of pushing dirt that you can also use for snow? Does that make sense? So first off, this is an 8-foot snow plow. This is a homemade jobby. I bought this thing 5 or 6 years ago. It's actually in my attachments video, and never used it. This is the first time it's been on a piece of equipment since I've owned it. I have no idea how it's gonna work. This may be a huge flop. I did not build this one. Somebody else did. I bought it like this. This snow plow here actually belongs on the front of a pickup truck, and they have retrofitted it to fit onto a skid steer quick attach plate. I don't think I'll go do commercial clearing jobs with this, but I'm hoping it's good enough for my driveway. I can't remember. I think I paid like 500 bucks for the whole setup. It was already built. I figured if somebody screwed it up, at least they got a head start on something I could build, and it'll be good to go. But there is a couple very noticeable differences between a snow plow and a grader blade. Let's just do snow plow, grader blade. One is the angle of this cutting edge down here. On a dirt machine, this angle is going to be much steeper like this, and the reason for it is it's made to gouge in underneath the dirt. On a snow plow, it's going to be much more vertical, much straighter up and down, and what that allows that to do is it skips across the ground and skims it instead of actually digging it out. One reason this was enticing to me versus a grader blade, the grader blade has a very sharp cutting angle on it, and we used to have a lot of gravel roads and driveways around here, and if it wasn't frozen underneath, it would actually grab the dirt and the gravel and throw it off the road. You don't want to do that. You just want to get the snow off the road. Ideally, you just want to skim and leave just a thin layer of snow, so as soon as the sun hits it, it melts off, and you're not actually damaging the asphalt, the concrete, or the gravel, or whatever's underneath it. Another thing is this profile right here. This will actually come up and curve around a lot more. That way you can travel at a higher rate of speed and it don't come back over top of the blade. That's one problem you have with a grader blade, especially if you angle it and take off driving. It'll actually go over the top of the blade if you get much more than about 4 or 6 inches of snow, so you're taking multiple passes. And then of course it's also got this rubber flap up here. One other big feature that snow plows have that grader blades don't is their breakaway. And what do I mean by breakaway? This blade will actually pivot right here. It's got these big springs that hold it right there. Snow plowing is honestly hard on equipment. Whenever I first got in the excavating business, I had 2 or 3 snow contracts and quickly realized they are not worth the aggravation. It does not snow. If we were in a climate where it snowed 2 or 3 times a month, it may be worth my while, but 1 or 2 times a year, it's not worth rounding up the equipment, dragging around through the snow, ice, and salt, and then taking a risk on damaging something. Just kind of gave up on it. The one thing I plow now is my driveway, the neighbors, and the parking lot at the market. So, but anyways, whenever you're traveling along and you hit a curb or you hit an obstacle you can't see because it snowed, this blade will actually pivot forward and kind of bounce over it. So it kind of protects the blade, the equipment, and whatever you hit. So that's kind of the differences. And normally snow blades, snow pushers, they're wider than a dirt blade because the snow's pretty light, it's pretty fluffy, it flies out of the way. So one other thing I want to point out is this machine has dirt tracks on it. These things are not made for snow and ice. We may have a slip and slide video here before this is over, but again, this is kind of a one-off deal. I'm not going to go out of my way and spend a whole lot of money to buy tracks for a snow plow. They'll be dry rotted before I use them again, unless I move, and that's probably not going to happen. So anyways, let's open the door and see how much snow we got. Well guys, there it is. We got about 2.5 or 3 inches. It's about 9 degrees out here. It's honestly almost not worth plowing. It's borderline. They were predicting 9 to 18. We got maybe 3. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt on 3. But they're calling for really cold temperatures. I don't want to go drive on this. This will compact and make ice. So I think what we're going to do, we got the snow plow hooked up. We're going to make a few passes up and down the driveway, just so if it does freeze, it may not quite, it may melt and be better, easier. So Maggie is absolutely loving the snow. Don't worry, we don't leave her out here. She wants to be out here. She sleeps in the house on her nice warm bed. She's had her breakfast. She's getting ready to go back in. I know you guys don't see it. She spends as much time in the house as what she does out here in the cold. But anyways, let's fire this girl up and see if this old janky rig works. All right guys, let's do this. Fire up the old girl here. She's been in the shop, keeping her nice and warm. Let's enter the winter wonderland. Man, oh man, it is cold, cold, cold out there. All right, here we go. This will be the first snow pushed with the snow plow. That's just a quick, easy little first pass, but it does just what we wanted to do. See, I just kind of barely skims the surface, leaves just a little bit of powder of snow behind. Seems to be pushing it all right. Let's do it. Check that out, guys. Man, I'm pretty happy with that. It's good and frozen underneath, so that actually helps on this pass. But the skid steers seem to maintain good traction. The blade skimmed the top left just a little bit. You can see some of the milling showing through. As soon as the sun hits that a little bit, oh my goodness, I got you guys dirty. As soon as the sun hits that a little bit, it'll burn that off. We'll be good to go. I think my springs may need to be adjusted a little bit tighter. You guys seen the blade cam over a little bit, what I think would be a little bit premature, but I'm not gonna mess with it right now. We're gonna go for it. So we're gonna head up and do my brother's driveway, make a pass over to his house and back. We're probably gonna go on a little road trip and go over to my in-laws house. Gotta keep the in-laws happy, so woo, I'm glad I got heat. It's actually a little bit more snow than I thought here on this parking area, so I'm gonna go ahead and plow it off real quick so we ain't got a mess later, and then we'll head up to my brother's house real quick. Man, I don't have any gloves on. I just buried you guys in the snow. Oh, there you are. Whew. Sorry about that. My poor GoPros. All right, driveway looks pretty good. You know, I was thinking those springs weren't adjusted right. I'm actually hitting some frozen knots in the rock there. I'm thinking they may be pretty close to where I need them, so we're obviously gonna let them go where they're at now. Let's head up and do my brother's driveway. So if you guys haven't figured out over the years of watching me, that is my house and shop right there. Then our driveway here goes up the hill to the county road. And my brother actually lives right over there, and his driveway kind of shoots up and around behind the house here. Kind of runs the top edge of my property line. So we'll be a nice neighbor, nice brother. His wife's actually pregnant, so she's not anywhere close to being due. We want to make sure she can get in and out if she needs to. So we will blaze them a trail in and out, and move on to the next one. Well guys, there's a brother's driveway. It turned out pretty sharp. He's got some pretty deep ruts in there. So his snow's a little bit deeper. You can kind of see in the tire tracks there, but not much we can do about it at this point. It is what it is, but that'll work out pretty good. It's not supposed to really warm up, but the sun's supposed to pop out, and if it does, it'll burn that off there pretty quick. So we're gonna hit the road with this rig and head up to the mother-in-law's house. Let's do that driveway. Have I mentioned how much I like having heat? It is like -0 sunk in the windshield out there. It is cold. I hope you guys appreciate all these outside shots because my fingers are about shot. County's not made it up here to plow this road yet, so we'll just drop the plow down the way over as we go over to the in-laws house and help them out a little bit. I thought we were going to have another Dirt Perfect towing and recovery video the other day. Come home the other night and right up here around this turn, the county actually put a truck in the ditch, but they were insistent on they didn't want any help, so we left them alone, and it took them about 4 hours, but they got it out. I don't think it really hurt anything except for the driver's pride. So they're kind of abandoned ship on our road, so we'll kind of help them out here as we're driving over and give them a fresh pass on it. But that's before. Really kind of surprised the county don't have this road cleared. We're actually very, very, very fortunate in our county. They do a really good job of snow removal and road maintenance and everything like that, so no complaints there. But this driveway here that's in there somewhere, that's our next victim. That's where Jenna's parents actually live, so should be a quick pass up, quick pass down. We'll be out of here, folks. Plowed in the driveway all right, got this off. I will have to admit, these tracks, they don't do bad on those millings. I guess there's just enough grit in it they'll grab. Up here on this concrete where it's got ice underneath it, they're not worth a crap. But they'll work for today, let's put it that way. Plow our way back out of this one and head down the road about a quarter mile and get my secretary / accountant's house because it's pretty important to keep her happy. And then I think we will probably park this. I've got the loader down at the market. We'll probably head down to the market and see what the lot looks like. I don't quite feel comfortable the way the roads are hauling this down there. It's a little bit too far to drive it down there. So we may just have to get by with the loader and the bucket on that end. I've actually got it parked down there just for that reason. So, but yeah, we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Another driveway done. There's what she looks like. She's a beaut, Clark. That sun's coming out. That sun comes out, it'll clear her up pretty good. So, all right, on to the next one. 2 speeds, Captain. All right, we have plowed our way down to the next one. This one here kind of goes back, wraps around. There's one house there and one house there. Should be a pretty quick, easy in and out. There's not any parking areas or anything we got to hit. We just got to stay on the road, so let's do it. Well guys, there it is, another driveway down. That thing does perfect on a hard surface. Up here on those rock roads where there's some ridges and stuff, that blade grabs and folds over. I'm still debating whether I need to adjust those springs or not. It may not be that big a deal. But man, I can't complain. That thing works really good for a couple $100 and sit for 5 or 6 years. We got a decision to make. We're like halfway to the office right here. That cab's awful warm. I may just bite the bullet and drive the skid steer to the office. It's probably not ideal on it, but like I said, it's a lot warmer than the other options. Let's do it. All right, guys, it was quite the little road trip to get here, but by golly, we made it. And the loader looks awful cold and awful froze over there. Snowplow is going to work better anyway, so I'm glad we went that route. Got a little bit of traffic in this morning, which is good, but I think we're going to do this one time-lapse style. Let's knock this thing out. Well guys, there she is. She is all done, turned out pretty sharp. Get in and out. Got a little bit of shovel work we need to do around the pumps. We'll leave that for Barry. He needs something to do. He needs a little bit of exercise, a little bit of entertainment. I don't want to take all the fun away from him, but snowplow worked great. Like I said, I've had this thing for years. First time we actually used it. I do think I'll probably end up adjusting those springs just a little bit tighter. It didn't do bad, but they can definitely be touched up a little bit. They're talking about a little bit more snow may come in tomorrow. I don't have high hopes for it. We're going to go ahead and get her fueled up, have everything ready to go just in case. But that's going to be a wrap on this one, guys. We're heading back to the shop, get back in the warm, and yeah, working there the rest of the day. It's cold out here, so hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.